Don't open your eyes. It was some time past midnight when I heard the knock. A soft, deliberate knock, 3 times, like a whisper of knuckles on wood. At first, I thought it was just my imagination. Maybe the apartment creaked in its usual way, or the wind got brave enough to tap the windowpane again. But no. 3 knocks. Again. I sat up in bed, heart already hammering as if trying to escape my chest. I lived alone. No roommates, no pets, and I sure as hell hadn't invited anyone over. Probably a neighbor, I whispered to myself, trying to rationalize the irrational. But I didn't move. My body didn't trust my voice. It knew something I didn't. And then I heard it. A voice. It was low, male, and close. Don't open your eyes. My throat clenched, and a chill spider walked down my spine. I hadn't heard the door open, hadn't heard any footsteps. But I felt it. Presence. Heavy, oppressive. Like something stood at the foot of my bed. Don't open your eyes, the voice repeated, this time more insistent. Closer. I wanted to scream. Every instinct told me to bolt from the bed, throw the lights on, and run for the front door. But something in that voice rooted me in place. It wasn't threatening, but it wasn't kind, either. It was factual. Like a rule being stated. A law of nature I hadn't yet learned. Okay, I whispered, eyes clenched tight. I don't know how long we sat there, me, frozen, and it, watching. Then I remembered something. The game. When I was younger, my friends and I used to play this sleepover horror game called Don't Open Your Eyes. One person would lay down, and someone else would whisper from nearby. The rules were simple: never open your eyes. Never speak first. Never move unless told. We treated it like a joke. Just another Bloody Mary, a childish thrill. But the voice, it was saying the same thing now. Was someone playing a prank on me? How would they even get in? You're playing, the voice said again, more pleased this time. Good. The air in the room thickened. I could feel the temperature drop. Goosebumps bloomed across my arms and legs like frostbite. It moved. I didn't hear footsteps, but I felt it shift. From the foot of my bed, to my left. Then to my right. I squeezed my eyes tighter. You're better than the others, it whispered, inches from my ear now. They always look. Then, silence. No wind. No creaks. Just my own erratic breathing. Until. Scratch. Long, slow fingernails against the side of the mattress. Then again. Closer this time. You want to win, don't you? The voice asked. Win? Was this a game? My childhood memory rushed back. The final rule of Don't Open Your Eyes: if you last until dawn, you win. If not, you become part of the game. I never thought it meant anything. You're doing well, it said, pacing again. I could sense it circling, like a shark in deep water. Then, something brushed my hand. Cold. Not skin. Not fur. Something else. Something wet. My instincts betrayed me, I flinched. Wrong move. You moved. The voice snapped, now harsher. But. I'll allow it. Why? Why did it allow it? I wanted to scream, but the sound lodged in my throat like glass. Then, it whispered one last thing before silence took over. Don't open your eyes, even if I speak with your voice. And with that, it vanished. Or at least. I think it did. But the room was no longer mine. I could feel it. I was not alone, and the game had truly begun. I didn't sleep. I couldn't. The moment that voice spoke again in my own tone, my exact voice, I knew this wasn't a game anymore. Not really. Don't open your eyes was a story we used to scare each other. But stories are rooted in something, right? Something real. Somewhere around what I assumed was 2 in the morning, though I dared not check, I felt my mattress depress again. Like someone sitting down gently. Slowly. You awake? The voice asked, my voice. I held my breath. My lungs screamed for air, but I stayed silent. I remembered the rules. Never speak first. It shifted. I heard a click. Fingernails? Teeth? You're good at this, it said, not my voice now. More guttural. Slower. You've played before. I didn't answer. The silence that followed was the kind that presses against your eardrums. The kind that makes you hear things that aren't even there. Then, I heard it breathing. Not like a human breath. Too wet. Too deep. Like the slow inflation of lungs much larger than any person's. You know, it said softly, they always cheat around this time. Peek. Glance. Just a sliver of an eye. I gripped the bedsheet tighter, like a child hiding from monsters, as if cotton could save me from ancient things that knew my name. Then, something changed. The air turned sweet. Rotten sweet. Like spoiled fruit fermenting in the sun. I gagged quietly, forcing myself to swallow it down. The creature laughed. It knew. Someone else played here before you, it whispered. Right here. In this room. They opened their eyes. I wanted to cry. It leaned in. They were your neighbor. 3rd floor. Apartment 32. Recognize that? The woman with the beagle? I did. Claire. She'd been missing for almost a week. They said she left town. No signs of struggle. No packed bags either. They opened their eyes at dawn. Thought it was safe. A pause. It wasn't. Suddenly, the room shifted. The weight of gravity changed. I felt the walls breathe. A soft hum began, low frequency, like the world was groaning around me. Then I heard her voice. Claire. Please, it cried. But it was off. The cadence was wrong. Like someone learning to speak human. Words in the right order, but not from the right mouth. Please, it repeated, a little more convincingly. I nearly opened my eyes. Nearly. But I didn't. And that's when it got angry. The voice shrieked, not loud, but sharp. Like metal tearing through silence. You're stubborn, it hissed. But the game gets harder. Bang. Something fell to the floor. Hard. Thump. 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 Footsteps. Heavy. Pacing around the bed now. Fast. Unhinged. Then the whisper again. If you open your eyes now, I'll show you what I look like. You won't be able to close them again. I shuddered. It paused, as if giving me time to think. Then, one last warning. If you see me, you join me. The room went still again. The minutes, or hours, crawled. I felt time stretch and bend around me like hot wax. My eyes ached from the tension of remaining shut. Then. A second knock. 3 knocks. But this time, not at the door. At the wall. The inside wall. The wall behind my headboard. Something was inside. Don't open your eyes, my voice whispered again, too softly now. Closer than ever. A final test? I didn't know. But I remembered the rule. If you last until dawn, you win. So I counted. Silently. 1. 2. 3. I counted until I lost track. Until the whispers stopped. Until the breathing vanished. Until the mattress rose back to its normal height. And then. Light. Just the faintest glow behind my eyelids. The sun? Had I made it? I wasn't sure. I didn't dare trust it. And that's when the voice said one final thing before vanishing. Next time, we'll play a different game. My eyelids burned. They'd been clenched shut for what felt like hours, maybe all night, but I wouldn't open them. Not until I was absolutely sure. The warmth on my skin was convincing, but I had to remember what the voice had said. If you open your eyes now, I'll show you what I look like. You won't be able to close them again. So I lay there, unmoving. Listening. Waiting. The room was quiet. Too quiet. No wind. No creaks. No breathing. The kind of silence that only came after something had fed. I reached out mentally, feeling for the presence I'd become so familiar with. It was gone, or at least hiding. Tentatively, I whispered, "Is it over?" No response. I counted to 10. Then to 50. Then to 100. No sounds. Finally, trembling, I opened my eyes. Sunlight streamed through the blinds. My alarm clock blinked lazily. The same messy clothes on the floor, the same cracked phone screen on the nightstand, the same coffee mug still half full from yesterday. Normal. But I knew. It was a lie. Everything looked normal, but it wasn't. Something felt wrong. I swung my legs over the bed and stood up, testing the floor. Solid. Still real. I walked to the bathroom and stared at myself in the mirror. Bloodshot eyes. Pale skin. A shadow of myself. But still me. Until I blinked. And my reflection didn't. It kept staring. Smiling. I stumbled back, heart spiking in my chest. I looked again. Now it was gone. My reflection was back in sync. Had I imagined it? Sleep deprivation? Paranoia? That's when I noticed something on the fogged mirror. A message, written in fingertip streaks. You opened them. I hadn't. I waited until daylight. Right? Right? I sprinted back into the bedroom, grabbing my phone. No signal. No Wi-Fi. Just a single notification I didn't remember getting. Game over. You survived. My knees buckled with relief. I laughed, dry and broken, nearly crying. Until a second message appeared below it. Next round begins tonight. New rules. Later that day. I tried to leave. Packed a bag, keys in hand, but the door wouldn't budge. The knob turned, the latch clicked, but the door wouldn't open. No matter how hard I yanked, kicked, or screamed. I was stuck. Windows wouldn't break. Glass wouldn't even ripple under the hammer I found in the kitchen. The apartment had become a trap. Or a board. For a game. That night, as the sun dipped below the horizon, I heard the voice again. But not from my bedroom this time. From the TV. It turned on by itself, static rolling like ocean waves. Then a face. Not human. But almost. Skin stretched too tight. Eyes too large. Mouth too still. You survived night 1, it said. But survival means continuing. The game doesn't end when you win. I screamed. I begged. I threw the remote at the screen, but it stayed frozen on that face. There are new rules, it said. I backed away, my back hitting the wall. New rules. Do not speak, even if spoken to. Do not answer the door, even if you hear your name. Do not sleep until invited to. And never, ever turn off the lights. Then the screen went black. Silence again. My lights flickered. Something scratched at the door. I checked the peephole. Nothing. But then I heard it, my voice, calling from the hallway. It's okay, you can open your eyes. I stepped away from the door, heart threatening to burst. This time, I wasn't going to play by instinct. This time, I knew the rules. Or at least, I thought I did. Because just before the light bulb in the living room popped, plunging me into darkness, the voice whispered. You're not the player anymore. You're the invitation. The end. Or the beginning.